I am woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman? That's me, Maya Angelou. Welcome to this segment of the Afrocentrist podcast, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from across the globe, sharing their stories and how they are impacting their world. Coming to you every Wednesday, 4 p.m. GST, of course, with your favorite show host, the energetic EJ. So make it a date with me every Wednesday. The Afrocentrist podcast, proudly African. Hi guys, and welcome to today's episode of the Afrocentrist podcast, and this segment, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact. My name again is the energetic EJ, and I am always delighted to be right in front of your screen or right in your earbuds as you listen to this podcast. Now, today on the show, I'm super excited. If you can't see me, maybe you're listening to this, then you can hear the excitement in my voice because my guest today, oh my God, sit tight, relax, because today is going to be fun. Today on the show, we fondly call her Queen Sandi, okay? She is a true queen. Like, she can't be caught on fresh. Never. So we're going to find out a lot about that. But before we do that, this is a message from our sponsors. It was Malala Yousafzai who said, "We were scared, but our fear was not as strong as our courage." To every courageous woman out there, we celebrate you. And it's that time of the year to go beyond words in appreciation of courageous women in business. Ladies in Business Magazine Global presents She Awards Global 2022. Theme, Deals in Your Heels. Date, March 12th, 2022. Venue, DoubleTree by Hilton, Dubai M Square. Dress code, traditional or international look. She, sophisticated, high net worth, and excellent, deserves to be celebrated. Get your tickets, exhibit, or sponsor by visiting bit.ly/She Awards Global 2022. Ladies in Business Magazine Global. Ideas, innovation, change.
Hi, I'm Sandi Saksena, and I am a queen. Yes, you got it right. I wear many crowns, and now I've got one on my forehead, so I don't need to change.
Guys, can you see? If you're watching this, lucky you, because you are the one who will be immersed in today's episode. Ta-da! Look at my gorgeous guest. Hi, Queen Sandi.
Hello. Thank you for making the time to actually come over and interview me.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for saying yes and for just being open to share your story. I mean, I've met Sandi a lot of times in the past year and a half, thereabouts, at different events where she's either hosting or she's on the panel, or she's just an amazing being. I think I even met your husband at one point. And he was another world of his own. I'm like, oh my God, how did these two find each other? That is just so amazing. You are an amazing person. Your husband has an amazing personality. I loved how you people were joking around, during that event when I met. I think that was at the African Women's Conference earlier this year. But then again, I got to experience her speaking at a fashion event by Runway Dubai, and she mentioned just playfully, like, I'm 70, and I'm like, wait, what? Now check her out. Does she look 70 at all? Oh my God. And so I'm like, you know what? There is a secret here. And I remembered her sharing one of those tips, actually two of those tips at the Runway Dubai, media wall, where she said, do not allow anybody stress you out. And then when you get a no, just know that it means next opportunity. So I said, you know what? We have to find the time to sit together and to find out how she's been able to stay this gorgeous at 70, like really strong. She still works out at 70. Who does that, right? So we want to find out all of those secrets, but then intertwine it to how she's impacting our world, which is kind of summed up to say, you know what? She wants to talk about the rhythm of life. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. So hi, Sandi. Good to have you here again.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm absolutely honored to be here.
I am honored to have you. So please, let's dive in. First of all, who is Sandi? If you are going to describe yourself, how would you describe yourself?
Okay, so as everybody knows, I call myself Queen Sandi, and there's a reason for that. When I was a little girl, I was always the center of attraction. Okay. And surprisingly, even though my brother and sister came along, I never lost that spot. I was always in the spotlight.
Nice.
And as I grew older, I realized that I could actually attract the spotlight. And so then I decided, much later in life, of course, is that I truly deserve to give myself the title of Queen. Because that's who I am.
Oh, yes.
Right.
I love it. What would you say is the anchoring factor that gives you that confidence to even realize earlier on in life that I attract spotlights and I can actually just step into it and own it? What would you say is that thing that gave you that anchor, that confidence?
I think it's self-confidence. Because I've never been, a shy person. All right? And I have actually enjoyed the spotlight. It makes me feel wonderful. It makes me glow. It makes me want to say more, share more, and the words and the thoughts just flow. And so when I realized that, and I thought to myself, you know what? When I'm in the spotlight, I'm not nervous. I'm not tongue-tied. I'm not at a loss for words. In fact, it flows so beautifully. And it really gives me a high just for me to enjoy. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I want to be like that all the time.
Absolutely.
Whether there's somebody there or not, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
I just want to feel wonderful in myself.
At those times, all the years that you've been enjoying the spotlight, has there ever been a time when somebody tried to shut that light down?
Oh, many times.
How did you handle it?
I really don't care. No, to be honest, in the beginning, yes, I would feel that, why did they say that? Or I would feel a bit depressed. And then I realized very soon that when people said something negative or behaved in a manner that was negative, it sort of always has a larger impact on all of us. Criticism, for example, we take it to heart. And we feel depressed and we start analyzing what did we do right, what did we do wrong, why did they say this about me, etc. And it sort of really brings us down. And on the other hand, if somebody pays us a compliment or something, we sometimes hesitate to even accept it.
Yes.
And I said, why is that? I mean, don't we deserve to be complimented? If somebody's complimenting us, why shouldn't we enjoy the compliment? Why shouldn't we absorb that positive energies that are flowing to us? And it's a lot of social conditioning, because when we are complimented and we start feeling good about ourselves, and suddenly people think that we are very proud, or we are very self-centered, or we only live for that. And my answer to that is yes, so what?
So what if I live for the compliments?
So what if I can absorb more positive energies, feel more comfortable, feel more confident in myself, feel more, bright and happy? Don't we all deserve to be like that?
Absolutely, we do. So in your years, I mean, you've been on this earth for 70 good years. It's still amazing to me. How have you managed to stay this strong and agile?
All right, so I think I come back to the main premises. I truly love and value and respect myself, and I think a lot of us don't do that. And when I talk to people, when I do, for example, interviews, I always look upon it as an opportunity to encourage people,
Absolutely.
male, female, any age group, it doesn't matter, to actually love and respect yourself, because as human beings, we are an amazing creation of the Almighty.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing as beautiful as a human being on this earth.
Absolutely.
Right? And we must learn to value and appreciate that. You know, there's a book that I read very often. Actually, I've read it quite often, and it's called The Biology of Belief, by a medical doctor who then went on to the energy and the spiritual side.
Okay.
And his name is Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Okay.
And he says that all of us, each of us, is a community of 50 trillion cells. Right? You got it? Right? That actually, when we are younger, live in total harmony.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yes.
And as we grow older and we absorb all the conditioning and whatever else that comes to us, mostly negative, we get out of sync with that. Right?
So true.
And so, as I talked about the rhythm of life,
yes,
we go out of rhythm.
Woo!
Isn't it right?
True.
Yes.
So
So then when I decided that, you know, my body is all I have on this earth, right? And it's up to me, only me, to be able to keep it in good shape, treat it with respect, look after it. And when you say look after it, I'm not talking about all this lovely makeup that I have on right now, right? It's more about what are we eating? When are we eating? And more important, what are we thinking when we're eating?
That's a deep one.
Yeah. So for example, you hear a lot of times people talk about emotional eating. Or when they are depressed, then they'll eat a lot.
Yes.
Right? Or when something negative is happening, they are either starving or they're overeating. Or they're eating something that is not really
harmful.
Yes, it's harmful to them. And it's so simple. All you have to do is stop and say, do I need to do this to myself? Isn't it?
Absolutely. So it's getting to that point where you really understand that you are valuable and treat you that way. You are able, to say no to the things that harm your body, and it's beyond just putting on makeup and covering up all the dark patches, but actually thinking right, knowing that you are special, and actually paying attention to yourself and giving yourself that care
exactly,
that you need to give
because
to yourself.
Our body is always giving us indications.
Absolutely.
And how many times do we just ignore that?
So true.
So when it's heartburn, when it's a bloated tummy, when it's acne, all kinds of things, skin rashes, hair falling, why is that? It has nothing to do with the outside. It's all to do with the inside.
So what would you say is the toughest thing that you faced in life generally? What was the toughest season of your life? And what lesson did you bring out of that?
The turning point, I would say, is when we came to Dubai in 1996.
Wow, that's a long time.
So you were then maybe in diapers? Okay. Or
Not
getting
quite.
potty trained, it's okay. So when we arrived here, we had a very affluent lifestyle in Bahrain. And due to some very, I think, bad financial decisions, we found ourselves in dire straits when we came to the UAE. And till that time, I was very much what I call Snow White, in the passenger seat, somebody else in charge of my life. And then when that luxurious lifestyle or that car crashed, I got up and said, "Oh, somebody else is going to fix this for me," but there was nobody else. And so from Snow White, I became Cinderella.
You got to do the dishes.
Yes, I told you about that, right? That's what I learned. Those are the lessons I learned. Washing the dishes, getting all dressed up and going out, giving that impression, because a lot of us feel that we have to put on this facade when we go out. That we're so successful, we're so happy, we're so in demand. Is that truly what our life is about? So coming back to this turning point, as you said, in my life. So I then decided, because of the various challenges that we were facing, that I had to do something to contribute towards generating an income so we could meet our financial obligations, right? And then, of course, it dawned on me that although I look so lovely, and back then I looked better, maybe.
I know, right?
I dressed so well because I had all these really fancy clothes and jewelry and whatever else. But what could I offer an employer in terms of expertise, in terms of experience, in terms of qualifications? And it was a very rude shock. And if you remember, I always had this lot of self-confidence about myself.
Yeah.
That was a wake-up call, because everybody... first of all, I couldn't write a CV.
Wow.
Because I never worked. Right? So I was 44 years old.
At the time?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I, besides my name and passport number and the fact that I was married and had 2 children with a driver's license, I had nothing else to write.
Wow.
So no office skills, no computer skills, no nothing. So why would anybody give me an opportunity?
Wow.
Right? But there are 2 things, and I think it's very important for people to understand this. I have a very strong belief in myself. And my intent is very clear. So whether you're a religious person or not, whether you believe in the power of prayer or not, it doesn't matter. But your intent to the universe or to your creator must always be very clear. Don't confuse. So what was my intent? My intent was open one door for me. Not what kind of door?
Just a door.
Just open a door for me and I will step in and do the rest. Right? And no matter how many times I got that no, which was very often, my intent never changed. And it was never, why are you doing this? No, I was never in victim mode. It was, I know I am capable of doing a good job if somebody gives me that opportunity. Number 1. Number 2, my prayer was always constant, never changed. And it did happen and my prayers were answered.
Wow.
And it was so strange. And then I started really thinking about how the universe comes to your assistance, or how the spiritual beings come to help you.
When your intentions are clear and straight to the point and consistent. Wow.
Yes. So what happened? I never used to read the newspapers, right? Because in the sections for job vacancies, because I didn't fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
But that day I had to look. And in a bold boundary, there was this little ad that said, if you think you're a people's person and you think you have good communication skills, no experience required.
Whoa.
Training provided.
No way.
Seriously. And I read it again. And I said, is this for me? And then I had to have a couple of sips of my coffee to...
did I read that correctly?
And I said, well, it seemed it was at the Hilton Hotel. And I thought, okay, this seems a nice place. It couldn't be anything seedy. I'll go. So I went. And I was so focused on going for this, I never looked outside to even see the name of the company. I just said, where's the seminar on? And they said, there, madam, and I just walked in. Now, if you remember, I said I'm always very self-confident, and so I'll always look for a place in the first row. I don't believe in sitting at the back. You can't get noticed if you sit at the back.
Hear that, okay?
Yes. Find your way to the front, always. So I went, and there were only 2 seats there, but I found myself, and excuse me, and I just sat down. And now this young man, who was about 28, 29, who's still my boss, he was giving, the introduction of the company and this and that. I was trying to figure out, is this like a recruitment seminar, or is it an introduction to this company, or are they selling a product? What exactly are they doing? Then he started talking about the products. Now, I had taken a retirement plan in Bahrain for the family. So I realized he was talking about that product. So because I knew it as a client, I started asking questions. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I was asked to stay back. So there were like 65 people in the room. I was asked to stay back. So just 8 of us. And my boss was always to the point. We think you have the potential and we would like you to join us. I was like, you don't know anything about me? It's the first time something like that was happening. And I said, hang on a minute, don't you think you need to know a little bit about me? So he says, we've been observing certain characteristics about you. I said, really? He says, yes. So he explained, he said they had 8 people in the room. Each one had been given a brief to look for a certain characteristic in the people.
That comes in. Wow.
Isn't that an amazing thing? Isn't that an absolutely awesome way of looking at potential?
Wow.
Right? And I made the cut. And so I was totally confused, do I take this? Okay. And the other thing was, there was no salary. It was commission only. And my thought was, oh my God, I need money every month. At the end of the month, I need so much money to help pay the bills. And now this is commission only. So I went home and I thought about it and I asked my husband, and he said, you do what you want. So I said, fine. And my boss, Mr. R.M. Kumar, is an extremely persuasive salesperson. So he was selling this job to me, right? I did a good job. And so I joined. So then the other thing, and this is another lesson that I'd like to talk about, just do away with your ego. Okay, because it does not help you. So when I do my presentations now, I talk about the word ego, and I always say, drop the E and just go. So I started out with 0 salary. I still now do not get a salary, but believe me, it was the best opportunity ever. And today I am this person, confident, able to stand and speak in front of thousands of people, do fabulous interviews with you, and so much more, only because I took that opportunity.
That door.
So my thing is, I think sometimes don't overanalyze, just go with the flow, because the universe is putting something which is absolutely amazing in your lap. So don't discard it.
Wow.
Isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm connecting with your story because you are just speaking to me. Because even on my way here, I've been thinking 2021, how has it been? What is one thing that I would say in 2021 I really need to diss and do away with this year? And it just came to me, it was indecision. I missed so many opportunities this year because I couldn't decide on time. And so now that you're saying, you know what, just go. Just be intentional. Keep your intent in place. Don't change it, but keep asking. Keep waiting until that door opens. Thank you so much for sharing. But what would you say is your best experience ever? Apart from this opportunity, anyways. What has been your best experience ever?
Okay, so my best experience ever is being a mom.
Oh, she's so sweet.
I'll tell you why. Why it was such the best experience. Not the fact that I gave birth to two beautiful children who are now adults, and I'm just become a grandma.
Congratulations!
Yes. But the fact, and this also came much later. So again, it goes back to intent and belief. Right? These are two things that have worked beautifully in my life. So when I got married, it was like I wanted to be a mom. You know, and when my first child was born, my son, I was like, I feel so fulfilled. You know, it's like being a mother, giving birth to my son. It was amazing. And then my naughty little daughter arrived. She's such a precious thing. But later on, and I'm making this public, it doesn't matter to me, I had a hysterectomy, right? Because for health reasons. And since I was 47 years old.
Oh, wow. You had your second baby?
No, I had a hysterectomy. I had everything removed.
Oh, okay.
Right? Oh. And the doctor, when I went for my examinations, she just said, you need to get it removed. That's fine. I said, is it cancerous, something? No, not at all. But I'm sure you're at 47, you're going to have any more babies, etc., etc. So it's better to just get it removed because whatever was happening at that time. And so I said yes. So then I asked her, I used to always ask when the ultrasound was done, what's happening, this, that, and the other, but she would never tell me. Anyway, to cut a long story short, hysterectomy is over, and when I come out of the anesthesia in the room, my husband's with the stethoscope examining my head. And so I said, like, what are you doing? And he says, I'm just examining whether you have a left brain. So I said, why? He said, because apparently you didn't have, I'm born only with one kidney. So it's like, you don't have a left kidney, you didn't have a left fallopian tube, you didn't have a left ovary, and you had a half uterus.
Wow. You are special.
Totally. And I got pregnant, not a problem. I had full-term pregnancy and a normal delivery. So intent and belief. You see how it works?
Wow. You are special.
Yeah, I truly am.
You are.
I consider myself special. I have one kidney, but I've never had a day's problem. It works beautifully. Do I now take special care of it?
Absolutely.
Yes. But you see how nature looks after itself. And the other thing is, if I had known this many years ago, most probably psychologically it would have been a negative for me. And then I would have gone down another line totally.
Oh, wow.
So, what is the lesson? Ignorance is bliss.
I love this woman. Absolutely. Sometimes what you don't know can hurt you. Seriously.
Isn't it?
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge, your experiences. I mean, we could sit here forever and would never get tired of listening to Sandi. She's just an amazing human being. I know that you can tell from that. And let's say, how would you say you're currently impacting your world now? I mean, it goes without saying, but I just want to hear from her again.
All right. So how I'm impacting the world right now? Well, because I've been there and done that. And I'm like a walking advertisement for good health and vitality and positive thinking. I think I need to spread this message far and wide to anybody that I meet, anybody who's listening to me, who can see me. I also write, so anybody who is reading whatever I've written, the thing is very simple, and we talked about the rhythm of life, right? So I'm very much in sync. I'm very much in the rhythm of life, and when you're in that rhythm of life, you're in sync with nature, right? When you're in sync with nature, every single organ in your body is moving in sync, in rhythm, right? And now you know what it is when we listen to good music and we move with rhythm, how wonderful we feel. So do we need that external music? No, it's all internal. And when we move with that, it's wonderful. So, in order to do that, my message to everybody is this: just ignore what other people are saying about you, right? Most probably, people are always criticizing, giving you negative feedback. We focus more on the negative than the positive, right? And unfortunately, even the messages that are coming out about health, about the way we look, the way we dress, everything has to be in a certain way. And we are individuals. We are unique in ourselves.
No,
We are
absolutely.
as unique as your fingerprint,
Fingerprints.
right? So why do I need to look like you or you look like me?
Absolutely.
No.
need.
So we need to value and love who we are. We are created in a certain manner. Some of us are chubby, some of us are thin, some of us put on
Short,
weight.
tall.
Okay, so can I become much taller than what I am? Yes, I can wear high heels. Okay, but what about the tall person who wants to be shorter,
Absolutely.
right? Or that really chubby person who, that's what the body shape is, wants to suddenly look anorexic. Why? Because we're so conditioned
Yeah.
to be that this is the perfect way you should be.
Be.
There's no perfect way. You're the perfect way,
You are perfect.
right? Yes. So you have curly hair and I have straight. So do I have to do something to have hair like yours?
No.
It won't even suit me because
Absolutely.
it's not part of my genetic makeup. So keep away from the negatives. People will criticize. That's okay. Just don't let it affect you. If people are complimenting you, if people are appreciating you, be gracious enough to accept that. Even if they don't mean it, it doesn't matter. Just be
That's their
gracious
business.
enough. Yeah. Just be gracious enough and accept it. Right?
Yeah.
And always maintain an equilibrium. Not too much this, not too much that. So when you are on an even keel, you can negotiate the waters of life much better. And most important, darling, before I forget,
Yes.
there is no age or stage in your life where you cannot do what you want.
Say that again.
Yeah, there is no age or stage in your life when you cannot do what you want. You are always in charge.
Always. So don't pay attention, or don't be so caught up on the negative, or be so caught up on the years that you've wasted. If you're feeling like, oh my God, I should have done this years ago, well, the next best time is now. Just do it. Thank you so much, Sandi. Like, you've been amazing. It's been amazing speaking to her. She's just full of wisdom. She's gorgeous.
Yes,
She's
yes. Thank you so much. Thank
She's
you so much.
beautiful.
It was
I hope
lovely,
to be
lovely.
like her when I grow older. You know what I'm saying?
No. I beg to differ.
Well, be confident like her.
No, not
Okay.
like me at all.
Okay.
You just be a better version of yourself.
Yeah. All right. I rephrase.
Yes.
I would love to be a better version of myself by the time I'm older.
Totally. And you start today.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, because I have. I've had so much fun laughing that my jaws are really aching. But it's been an amazing time with Queen Sandi here. She's such an amazing personality, and I've learned a lot from this conversation today. First of all, like, don't pay attention to what people are saying about you. This is not to say that you don't care about what people say. You can care, but don't be too invested in it, okay? Such that it cripples you from doing what you want to do. Know that you are special, you are unique, and like she said, there is no age, no stage too late for you to do exactly what you want to do. And so as you are, because this is going to be streaming now in 2022, so as you start this year, or as we are going along in this year, please do not let anybody stress you out. Know that you are special and go for what you want. Remember, your intention has to be clear and ask to be consistent. And before you know it, that door of opportunity will open up to you. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and please subscribe to all the other podcast platforms wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast from. And please also, if you have any questions, maybe you want to connect with Sandi, she's on Instagram. I'm going to drop a link to the description of this video as well as the description of the audio podcast, so you can connect with her. She is an amazing soul. I kid you not. She's so simple. She's so easy to connect with. So you can connect with her on Instagram, drop her a DM and say, hey, Queen Sandi, I watched your episode on the Afrocentric podcast and I love it. Even if you have a question for her, you can go ahead and ask her. She is that amazing. All right. So thank you so much. Till I come your way again with another amazing woman. Just remain amazing yourself. Bye-bye.